very good afternoon from wherever that you are watching us. My name is Bongani, and this is another episode of In Conversation, which aims to be informative, insightful, and engaging. Well, today I'm with people that are doing the most here from the University of Johannesburg to the community at large, as I'm going to be talking to members from the classroom buddies. Today we're going to be speaking how they are providing academic assistance to underprivileged learners that cannot afford extra classes. Well, that is important for society. We are developing societies, and education is key to that. And joining me to talk all about this, we have Lebohang Masego and Christopher Kaimbe. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Chris, I'll start with you as the director. I must give the honors. Can you kindly introduce yourself to our viewers who may not know you?
Well, my name is Christian Kayembe. I am the founder and the director of Classroom Buddies, and I'm also a lecturer here at the University of Johannesburg within the School of Public Management and Governance.
Interesting. Awesome. And you're with Lebohang, of course. Lebohang, a quick intro of yourself as well.
So I'm Lebohang Masego, a fourth-year student at the University of Johannesburg, currently social media specialist at Classroom Buddies organization, which is a great honor to just be there.
Interesting, indeed. And Chris, I'll throw it back to you, as the founding member. Before we get to the aims, the initiatives, but just take me the challenges that you noticed for you to actually establish such an organization. Of course, it dates back to 2017. Give me the context. What was happening in your life, and why did you see the need to establish such an organization?
Well, Classroom Buddies actually started in 2015. When we started, it was more of an informal group. Just a bunch of former high school friends coming together. I was still doing my undergrad back then. I think I was doing my third year in BA Humanities. So I brought together a group of friends that we came from the same school, who were also here at UJ, studying different qualifications. So we came together. The reason why we came together was for us to go back to our former school and try to give a motivational talk to the grade 12s. 2 years after us, the matric rate at our former school dropped. So we were a bit concerned about that as well. And we decided to go back and give a motivational talk. And the response was really great. Learners, high school learners or grade 12 learners from my previous school were asking questions. We would like to study this, but we don't know how to do it. We are struggling with 1, 2, 3. So that's where the concept of the whole idea of Classroom Buddies came from. So from there, I personally saw the need to take this a bit further. Obviously, we did a short research. I remember I'll go to Gandhi Square after school around 2 or 3 p.m. and just sit there, talk to matriculant high school learners. We all know Gandhi is a place where you find all these exactly. So I'll just have a conversations with them. From there, that's where I decide to say, you know what, let's make this thing a bigger thing. Let's take it further and assist as much as we can.
Yeah, which is amazing. And Lebohang, when do you jump onto this ship? Of course, it's years later. It's big now, but I want to know your first interaction with Classroom Buddies and what got you to it.
So I joined Classroom Buddies in 2022 through the University of Johannesburg Community Engagement. It was one of their programs at the time, and I engaged with them, and they told me about there's this organization that aims to help kids from disadvantaged backgrounds in university applications and all tutoring as to all. So that for me is a passion that I realized later in my career, that actually I like education and teaching in that field. And then when I joined Classroom Buddies in 2022, I started off as a tutor there. And I liked the initiative. And at the time, it was just at Soweto Jabulani Safe Hub. I liked the initiative. We go there every Saturday from 9 till 2, and we engage with people. What I liked most about it is that it's not just about the learners. It's also about the tutors. I got to know a lot of people. I got to make a lot of connections with the tutors, have different friends of different aspects of the university. And I have never looked back ever since.
Wow. Well, and it's difficult to look back once you have changed so many lives and you've seen the impact of what you're doing. Because as we're speaking of air, Chris, you did mention that some of the people that you guys went to in high school, the students, are now here at the University of Johannesburg and some are elsewhere doing such amazing work as well. And starting with that, taking it back from the early stages, of course, you had a mission and a vision. Please tell me a bit of the mission and the vision that you currently have for Classroom Buddies as an organization.
Well, our vision is to become an industry leader in terms of the educational programs. We want to be in every city and every village in South Africa and beyond the South African border, also in other African countries. Our mission is to provide life skills to our young people. Hence, we focus on learners from grade 9 all the way to grade 12. In fact, in one of our meetings we had this year, we decided, you know what, we're going back to grade 8. We're starting from grade 8 all the way to grade 12. So that is our mission, to nurture the skills of young people and also to provide academic support, more especially to learners that come from disadvantaged background or schools. We have to be cognizant of the socio-economic conditions or circumstances of a lot of young people in this country. A lot of them cannot afford to pay for extra academic support. So we are there to bridge that gap and assist them. Going back to your earlier question, I think I forgot to answer that part where you asked some of the challenges that we faced. The biggest challenge that we've faced so far, besides finance is always a problem, lack of commitment from people. We are in a landscape or in a space where we are not getting paid for the work that we are doing. We are doing it because we are committed, we are passionate about it, we want to make a positive change, we are young people, want to make positive change in our various communities. So not everyone will buy into that vision of saying that, hey, I also want to be part of this, but I'm not going to get paid. Which is all right. We're not blaming people. At the end of the day, when you look at the unemployment statistics or unemployment rate amongst young people in South Africa, it's really high. So everyone is looking for a way to make money. So the biggest challenge has always been commitment from people.
Yeah. Wow. And we're going to touch more on the challenges as well. Wanna bring in Lebohang on this to say, Chris has spoken about the challenges that the organization faces in terms of people that are helping, the tutors maybe, let's say social media people within the organization. On your side as a tutor, what are some of the challenges that you've seen students face, and how has the organization tried to mitigate that?
Well, the biggest challenge that I've observed is that it's a lack of commitment from also our learners' part. Is that sometimes they don't know how to adjust between an educator and a tutor. So they come to maybe now one of our branches with the mindset that we are educators. We are there to have like a formal class with them. But that's not the case. We are there to assist and we are there to tutor them. So we try to create a friendlier environment that it's okay, be comfortable with me so that you can also tell me all your problems. Because in true retrospective, some kids can't communicate with their teachers beyond the academic perspective. But tutors that more or less the same age, more or less the same age group, more or less speak the same language with them. We try to communicate that with them is that if you can't speak to me, how are you going to speak to your teacher about a certain program? Because we have a smaller group compared to a large classroom, which is what we currently face in those disadvantaged schools, is that kids are taught in large capacity. And there's one educator, they don't have the time, or also sometimes they can't really identify every single kid. Maybe one class has about 70 learners. They can't identify every single kid's problem and aspect in that center. So Classroom Buddies comes into that action is that we are trying to mitigate that challenge to say, there is a tutor that's here just for you, free of charge. There's a tutor that's here to understand you as a person first, and then as a learner, and then understand your academic background, and also understand where you're coming from in terms of your homescape. So those are the challenges that I've actually identified.
Yeah, which are very important to note, because as you're saying, that people must utilize the free services that are offered unto them, and they must uphold them as students. And Chris, coming back to you in terms of the commitment, of course, of, let's call them staff for now, the members that you work with. In this episode, I think, with the initiative that you guys have, I'm touched and would wish some of our audiences who are interested in actually coming to assist. So now would be to, firstly for them, I think it would be get the specifics. Currently, how many schools are functioning, and the subjects probably that you guys are offering, as you said, that you want to expand from grade 8 to grade 12. But we want to notice the gap, and of course, a call to our fellow viewers to say, guys, here's an opportunity, for you to grow your CV. And we'll also touch on the perks that comes as part of that, to say if you've assisted, there's a certificate or something. So I think we'll start with the subjects. How are you teaching? How many subjects are there, and the grades and all?
Okay. So when Classroom Buddies started, 2015 informally, and 2016 we registered. 2017, that's when we started with most of our programs that we currently have. So when we initially started, we focused on schools. We were creating partnerships with schools, where we'll go to a school and partner with them and provide extra support to their learners on Saturday. However, one of the challenges, the biggest challenge with that was that there was internal politics between our group and the teachers. Some teachers will feel that we are there to replace them as educators. So we decided to shift our strategy. So we no longer work with schools. We are currently based at youth centers. So we look for youth centers in different areas. So currently we have a youth center that we are working with. The youth center is called Safe Hub. It's in Soweto, Jabulani. They have about 14 branches across the country. Currently, we are working at 2 of their branches, one in Soweto, one in Alexandra. Next year, 2025, we are also expanding. We're going to Diepsloot, Safe Hub again. We're also expanding to Tembisa. There's also a possibility that we are also expanding to Benoni as well next year. And we also have another center at Abraham Krill, just here by Langlakta, behind UJ, Auckland Park campus. Yeah. So that's where we currently work.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
The subjects.
Yes. And 2025, we are also starting in Westbury.
Wow.
Just down the road.
Yeah.
We're starting there as well. That one is already on the final stages.
Wow.
In terms of subject, when we started, we focused mainly on STEM subject, science and math. However, we felt that we were discriminating against other learners or other subjects. So we decided to expand our subject. So our program works in a way that learners walk to our centers and they register themselves there, any subject, whether it's math, whether it's physics or life sciences or business, accounting, whatsoever. We focus on everything. Our mandate is to assist learners. If a learner comes to us and says that, no, I'm struggling in history, we can't discriminate against them. We assist, we provide the help that they need. Yeah. However, amongst our learners, we have a high number of science learners that need help. Your physics, life sciences, and pure math.
Yeah. Well, those are usually the most difficult subjects. They need practice more.
Exactly.
Yeah. And this is, I'm touched, Chris, with what you're saying, and I want to look at the audience and say, this speaks to you across all faculties. You have a chance to help. We all from primary and high school, we've seen the challenges from where we come from, and we must raise up our hands where we can and be able to assist those other students. And with me pleading to the viewers, I want to bring you in, Lebohang, in terms of you've been a tutor. What are some of the perks that you've heard with this? You know, as you said, this is your passion. You're fulfilling your passion. That's a perk on its own. And you're doing something that will also make you're able. Maybe you had a problem with, you're challenged with public speaking. You develop character development, and there are other things that happen. So I want to understand from your perspective to say, what have you gained in all senses with you being part of Classroom Buddies?
This is really my favorite question. Because Classroom Buddies, with it alone, I've gained so much within the institution also and also externally. So when I got there, to be quite honest, I was doing it because it was just a program with the community engagement. But then I found a family there. So after that, I got my certificate for the first time in 2022. And then I use that to say, I want to come back next year. I want to build more in the tutoring space, but also I want to build more with Classroom Buddies. And like besides tutoring, I want to grow Classroom Buddies as a brand. So I remember I went for a job interview during the time when they had teacher's assistant. And in that job interview, I had my Classroom Buddies certificate within my qualifications and letter of recommendation there. So instantly when they saw that, they normally just asked me about that perspective. Why this? Why are you doing that? And I told them that it's a love that I got for education at that point. And instantly I got hired on the spot just because of Classroom Buddies. Also, when I go to different lecturers, especially in school, and I tell them about this initiative, they tend to turn like that bulb that you get in your head, and they're quite interested about that. I say, as a young person, you are interested in education, not just education within the university in terms of tutoring and getting paid for that, but you are interested in education, in higher education in terms of grade 8 to grade 12, and you're not getting paid for that. Why are you doing that? And I told them that it's not just about the money or about what are you getting in terms of where you want to go, but I want to grow myself to be a versatile person also, and not just focus. I know I'm doing transportation and logistics, but education is like a different route. So it has grown me to that aspect of that when I want to take on a different challenge, I can. Classroom Buddies has given me the platform also to be a speaker in the events sometimes that they host. I'm there, I'm growing myself in terms of that skill. I grow myself in terms of the skill of social media management as I manage all their different accounts. I've gotten brand endorsements with Classroom Buddies in terms of that they see that on my CV that I've managed the account for Classroom Buddies organization. Also gotten an opportunity to manage various institutional accounts within the institution. So it has helped me a lot. And it proves to show that because I was not a person who was blindsided and to say, this is a lot of work, why am I not getting paid by it? But I'm getting paid now with the amount of work that I put in, not just monetary-wise, but experience-wise and educational-wise and connections-wise, because it has put me in a point where I can talk to a lot of people with different departments and different aspects of
Indeed, and it's quite amazing. Well, there's a lot that you said that I wish to comment on. Firstly, I think was the smile that you gave when you said this question. I love it. I'm like, I'm not interviewing you, because they're like taking advantage of my question. But however, as you said, man, you've expanded beyond what you're doing. You know, from as you said, your course is transport, but now you're doing marketing on the side. You know, you're able to close deals, to get endorsements, and you have expanded your skill set, which is thanks to such a program and such an organization. And Chris, I'm sure it is a concern to say, how then do we try to cultivate such volunteerism amongst students as we having Lebohang is enthusiastic about it and we see the things that it has done for him. How then do we try and reach out more? Of course, this is part and parcel to say, guys, we see success stories such as Lebohang and others, you know. There's plenty. We have students that have passed and are here. But how do we continue to try and cultivate that culture of volunteerism among students?
Well, with that, you know, I'm one person, whenever I walk on campus and I see a group of students sitting together, I always try to approach them to say, guys, what do you do on Saturdays?
Does that work?
Others will look at you like, is this guy okay?
Exactly.
They give you that look. And others will be interested. Like, I remember one time, one girl, I was talking to them in a group. So the friends were influencing her to say, no, this is not interesting. A couple of days later, she came to my office. She knocked, like, do you remember me? I'm that girl when you were talking to us. I'm interested. I'm like, but I remember you. You were not interested. Like,
Yeah.
no, it's my friends. But then,
Yeah.
how do we cultivate that spirit of volunteerism from students? It's through talking to them, making them see the bigger picture. To say that when you are part of classroom buddies, not only classroom buddies, but other organizations that are doing similar work to what we are doing or other volunteering work, it's about seeing the bigger picture. You are playing an active citizen role.
Yeah.
You are being an active citizen. You cannot be a passive citizen where you see certain things that are happening in the country and you fold your arms and you go on Twitter, you go on Instagram, you complain. No.
Yeah.
But what are you actually doing about it? And also, so through talking to them, that's why as part of Classroom Buddies, we try by all means, whereby every month we choose one particular day, we walk around campus, we speak to students, not only all UJ4 campuses, we walk around, we speak to students, we try to be visible on campus as much as we can. And we also use our current volunteers to also reach out to their friends and classmates. In fact, 60 to 70% of our tutors or our mentors that are part of our programs are not only, they are not people that we recruited directly. Those are people that our current members recruited. And when they are doing that, it means that they have seen the value, the importance of what Classroom Buddies does. So we try by all means having conversations. Hence, when you look at our programs, we have what we call monthly talk shows online, where we invite prominent speakers to speak to young people. We pick different topics. However, we link the topics back to volunteerism. We link it back to what Classroom Buddy does. That can also motivate people and to be able to be part of it. And also social media.
Yeah.
A lot of young people love being part of social media. So a lot of young people, when they see what we do on social media, Lebo is very good at what it does. So those vlogs and videos that he posts on different platforms, when different students see that, they're like, oh, I also want to be part of that. So we try to balance talking to people, young people on campus, as much as reaching out to them as well via social media platforms through what we do.
Through what you do, which is important, Chris. I like the fact that, as you mentioned, talking to them. Knowledge is power, you know. People will not engage if they did not know what is happening. So disseminating that information. And also I believe it is, with that knowledge now having received them, it is, I believe it's innate that in all of us we do have that spirit of helping. It's just a matter of where and how, you know, and reaching out to them as you have tried, even in ways that others would think, hey, he's just ambushing us, this guy. How would you just pull up on us like that?
I do that a lot.
Like he's sneaking up on us. But it's an effort that counts, and I believe there's a saying, "Umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu."
Exactly.
Someone is always willing to help the next person.
Exactly. You know, just to add on what Lebo said earlier on regarding what you get from being part of Classroom Buddies. A lot of young people, yes, money is important. Like I said, we live in a country where our socio-economic situations are very dire. Exactly. However, being a university student from first year all the way to maybe honors, those are the years as a student needs to be able to cultivate their skills, form friendships, long-lasting friendships, and also network with others. You know, when you look at the story of, for example, Facebook started because of a couple of university students who are friends, who are classmates. They came together and they created something that we call Facebook today is worth billions of US dollars. When you look at Steve Jobs, Apple, you look at Microsoft with Bill Gates, these are people who were a university student, who were not friends. Indeed. They met at university. So being part of programs such as these ones, it gives students the opportunity to network with others, to form lifelong friendship, partnership. So, and that is more valuable for more than money, because you are thinking long term. And secondly, when you look at the unemployment rate in South Africa amongst young people, one of the reasons why we have high unemployment, experts are saying because of lack of skills. A lot of young people, when you listen to radio stations, some experts are saying that some young people are unemployable. They have qualifications, but you can't employ them. Why? Some are shy. They don't have, they don't have communication skills, how to communicate, writing skills. So being part of classroom buddies and other organizations it gives you the opportunity to come out of your shell. It gives you the opportunity to challenge yourself, to challenge yourself, to contribute positively, meaningfully in South Africa. So I have a lot of examples. I have a lot of testimonies. Like Lebo said, we have some of our tutors or mentors or staff members who are now working for some other institutions, companies, because of classroom buddies. When they look at it, they say that, oh, you've been working for this organization for the past 2-3 years without any monetary value. Why? That shows loyalty. And the company values that, values loyalty, meaning that you are not just going to wake up one day in the morning and leave. You are there to contribute meaningfully in the organization. So that's more than money. Yes, you get money now, but you must think the long term. Long term is to build yourself as a human being. And that is one thing I said even to my students in class. I told them, I even said to CB classroom buddies, volunteers, to say, look at the long term. The long term is to build yourself. You are a brand. By being part of classroom buddies, you are building your brand. You are building yourself socially. Yes, you are studying at UJ or any other institution. You are building yourself academically by being part of classroom buddies and other programs. You are also building yourself socially. You are building your skills. You are building your networks. You are building relationships with people. And those are the things that will make a difference in the future. 10 years from now on, 5 years from now on, 20 years from now on.
Indeed. And if you can look, time flies, as you said. Just few years ago, I'm sure for you, Chris, it would have been like 2016 is around the corner, but the impact that you have done over those past years, you grow as an individual through the experiences and the interactions that you have with people around you. They say birds of the same feathers flock together. So if you align yourself with people that are prosperous and that they are there for the societal impact, goodness will follow. Not to quote the Bible, but goodness and mercy shall follow. And Lebo, Chris touched on the brand. As you said, you also do media for the classroom buddies. How did that come about? How have you tried, with the limited resources and everything that you have at your disposal? How have you tried to reach to the target market and to also engage with the target market? Because social media is like that. How has your experience been, and how have you developed through that?
So it's actually quite funny how I got to this position because I remember it was the last day in November when we got our certificates in 2022. And then Mr. Kaembe said that, does anyone want to add something that we can implement for next year to make the program better and evolve it? And then I was like, your social media is very boring.
Call a spade a spade.
And what funny is that what he said after is that, do you want to fix it?
Yeah.
I said, okay, it's fine, I can try. And I said, okay, take it, fix it. So that's how I got into the role. And ever since then, I knew that I wanted to make Classroom Buddies a brand because I come from Newcastle, and in my former high school, we didn't have such initiatives. We didn't have people even come to the school and tell us about university because it is so excluded in terms of the landscape. There's no university that's in close proximity that people actually come and tell you about. So I thought of Classroom Buddies as like, if a boy like me, who's from Newcastle, who's currently in the University of Johannesburg, can send the message across without actually getting there, how can I do it? Like, if I can take in charge of Classroom Buddies' social media networks and try to project it into the whole country, it will be better. So those were the initiatives that I wanted to strive with the organization. And some of the challenges were that I kind of didn't know what I was doing at first. I really didn't know how to actually target certain things and where to go and where to look. But actually, I met people within the organization that are studying marketing, people that are studying public relations, people that are studying communication management that actually were there to actually help in terms of graphics, in terms of pushing their insights, in terms of what to post and how to create content at the time. And we actually worked together into building this brand now we can call Classroom Buddies Organization. And it's been very great because we've had various stakeholders actually reach out to us through the help of social media and say, your social media is very live, it's very vibrant, it's very colorful. We can actually see the initiative that you guys are pushing. And we always advocate that we do this free of charge. Nobody is charged for anything. If you're getting charged, it is not Classroom Buddies Organization. And they actually like that. So they want to come and actually see what are we doing. Having interviews across different various platforms. And also one of my lectures recently in one of my classes was like, I've seen you somewhere, but I don't know where.
Imagine.
But you were teaching someone something. Oh, it was like, oh, probably you've seen me on the Classroom Buddies. Oh, I actually follow the page. What do you guys do? And then I told her about it. She's like, I actually follow you guys.
Wow.
So you're the one running the account. And then she also wanted to engage more in terms of the donations that we do for our girls program and our boys program. And it's quite fun because we have people reach out through something that I thought I could bring life to. I mean, we started a TikTok channel recently and it has been doing wonders in terms of the numbers and people are actually engaging more with it. We do more lives now that people can see that we're actually doing something. And in 2025, we're actually planning to start like a YouTube platform where we can take content of doing certain subjects and posting it out there. So a person in Tata or a person who's in Newcastle can actually go back to YouTube and say, I saw a problem similar to this. A tutor was solving it there. So you have a platform where you can actually go back and revert to and say, okay, this is how it's done, this is how it's done. And also promoting more social and online content because Classroom Buddies, currently it's just in Johannesburg. So what about the kids that are in Eastern Cape, in Cape Town? How about the kids that are in Limpopo? How they can get help? So YouTube is the best platform to project that because you can download videos even if you don't have data and you can go to centers like Internet Cafe and get those programs and actually get the work done with our online classes. So for me, social media has done so much for Classroom Buddies in terms of branding, in terms of exposure, because even my friends from my high school are like, why are you there? This is not your brand. This is not what we saw in high school. But like, as a person, you grow, you evolve, you fall in love in different aspects of life. And they also like the program. They also want to join the program. It's just that they're in different parts of the country. So as a brand, that's where now I come in to say we are projecting Classroom Buddies throughout the whole country. So wherever you are, you can actually join in and actually help us to build this empire we want to call Classroom Buddies one.
Wow, indeed. And I like that because we're saying the world is a global village, but even South Africa is a global village. We should not be distant that a person who's in Limpopo, 400 kilometers away, should not have access to such valuable information that will help them. I like that. And another thing, Classroom Buddies really help. I wouldn't have believed that is from Newcastle. But that day, the accent is like, man, are you sure, my brother? Man, Model C, this one. But that's that, Chris, what you're talking about in terms of communication skill, in terms of articulation. You know, you learn that through the people that you surround yourself with.
Exactly.
And Chris, I'm bringing you onto that as well. It's like the university just launched Strategy 2035, which speaks of societal impact, and this is what you guys do.
Definitely.
And how do you feel about that, as if the university is taking the same direction that Classroom Buddies is also having?
Oh, definitely. We fit in perfectly with that. I always tell people that Classroom Buddies is an organization started by young people, being led by young people, for young people. So the university coming up with, social impact, societal impact, we fit in there. These are UJ students who are making an impact. When we do positive things, it also raises the flag of UJ, of the university. So not only that, but we also fit in with the global societal impact. When you look at Sustainable Development Goals number 4, we talked about quality education. We fit in there. When you look at the NDP, the National Development Plan, we do fit in there. education is an important aspect of society.
Yeah.
No country in the world has become a superpower
Yeah.
or have become a developed country without quality education.
Indeed.
And classroom buddies, through the different programs,
Yeah.
through the different tutors, mentors, volunteers, and staff members,
Yeah.
we are playing our
role.
part,
Yeah.
our role
Yeah.
to achieve that SDG goal number 4,
Indeed.
to achieve the target that has been set out in the NDP,
Yeah.
and to also achieve the target that has been set out by UJ,
Wow.
by what
Impressive.
we are doing.
And indeed, you really are, Chris. And it is, of course, important to acknowledge some of maybe the partnerships that you guys have been with so far. Can you take me through some of the few people that you guys are currently working with? You did mention the youth center that you guys are partnering with. What are some of the maybe community engagement for UJ as well? So please take me through a little bit on the partnerships that you have right now.
Oh, a big thank you has to go to UJ Community Engagement
Yeah.
Office, more especially the APK office.
Yeah.
We with Miss Teleng Mujaji.
Yes.
She's been very good with us.
Yes.
That's my partner.
Yeah.
That's my mother. We have a very
Indeed.
close relationship with
Yeah.
UJCE. Not only APK, but across all campuses.
All campuses,
When
yeah.
you go to APB with Lebohang, who's there.
Yeah.
That's within UJ, but outside of UJ, we
Yes.
have the city of Johannesburg,
Oh, wow.
where we work with them. We have Gauteng Department of Education,
Yes.
where they identify schools, where we go and assist their learners with career guidance
Yes.
and university applications. We also have Safe Hub,
yeah.
both in Alexandra and Soweto. They've been very good. We've been working with them for a very long time
Yeah.
now. Those are our core partners that we've been
Yeah,
working with.
yeah.
Beside that, we have also other individuals who
Yeah.
have been supporting
True.
the work of classroom buddies. But I
Yeah.
think if I have to thank
Yeah.
anybody, I'll have to say a big thank you to our volunteers.
The volunteers.
Our volunteers and our staff members. They are the core, the heart of the organization.
Organization.
Without them, we will not be able to do
Yeah.
the work. So they are very important. They are very important to us. Yeah.
Lebo, that's for you. Chris just said thank you.
Thank you, classroom buddies, for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Without
yeah.
it, I'll just be a university student,
Just a
taking
number
course
there.
and just
Yeah.
surviving university. But now we develop into other aspects.
Other aspects. No?
And
Yeah.
to just add on the partnership,
Yeah.
we have other organizations that we are we are negotiating with. In terms of future partnership, one of the programs or one of the ideas that we want to implement next year is that we want to have mental health counselors, psychologists in every branch where we work. And there's an organization that we are currently negotiating with them regarding that. So far, so good. And we are looking for partnerships with any other organizations that want to work with us, whether it's within UJ or outside of the university. We are open as long as it makes the partnership will have an impact, will change the lives of young people. We are up for it.
For it, indeed. And that's why Lebo, I want to bring you in. As Chris said, you're open for partnership. Where can these people contact you guys? Of course, being social media, the handles that you guys have, we might try to put them on the screen below, but just maybe look into that camera and tell our viewers where they can access you guys.
So on Instagram, we are Classroom Buddies Organization. On X, we are Classroom Buddies. And on Facebook and LinkedIn, it's Classroom Buddies Organization. Also, our YouTube account, it's CBO TV. And our TikTok, it's CBO. So, and we also have an email address, which is at info@classroombuddies.org.za. Also, you can check out our website on www.classroombuddies.org.za also.
Oh, trust me, they can't miss you. Those are 5 addresses. There's no way that you cannot get
And it's all
one.
the same.
It's all the same.
It's all the same.
Yeah, but guys, thank you so much for joining me. Before I let you go, we have a thing that we call Monday motivation. So right now, it's a word of motivation. Your state of mind right now, but you're also trying to, like a Bluetooth, you're trying to send it through like an airdrop to the next person who's watching us. So Chris, I'd like to start with you to maybe look into that camera and say a word of advice, a motivation on anything, whether it's them to join, whether it's them to continue the good work that they're doing, but anything that a state of mind that you are right now, motivation.
I'm a believer in God. I'm a Christian. So if I have to give an advice, I'll say, believe in God. Don't give up. Continue to pray. One day, things will be all right. No matter how hard things get, do not give up. Giving up is not an option. Giving up is not an option. Do not give up. Do your part. Pray. You will see result.
Wow, that's powerful, Chris. You touch me because sometimes I feel like giving up. So I guess it was as important when a wise man said, "That's the hill I'm willing to die on. So you must die on what you believe on. Never give up."
Never give up. Never. As long as God is alive, as long as you have the breath in your lungs, it is not over yet. It is not over. The Bible says, "Better to be a living dog than to be a dead lion." What does that mean? A dead lion cannot do anything. It's useless. But as long as you are breathing, as long as you are walking, it is not over. Yeah, it is not over. You can still make it, but don't give up. And don't underestimate yourself.
Yeah. Lebo, what's your message?
I think I would like to
Yeah.
quote my accounting teacher from grade 11 and grade 12, Mr. Mbuli. So he used to say, try and fail, but
Yeah.
never fail to try. And that's something that I've lived by. So if you're failing to try, that means you are not trying. And also, just try. You have nothing to lose. In all aspects of everything that you're doing, you literally have nothing to lose. If you want something, be determined, set yourself towards the goal, and just go for it, man. Strive for it. If it doesn't lose you your life, go
Yeah.
for it. And in everything that you do, trust and believe in God, and make sure that you stand still and you walk with pride, and nothing is going to tempt your way, whatever you do. Just keep up, keep your head straight, be confident in every room that you enter with, and treat people with respect, and expect them to treat you with respect too.
Wow. Wow, I'm touched. I think you guys came for me. Yeah? Your words are piercing my heart right now. But thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you guys for coming through and talking to me today.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
so much
us.
for
Thank you
having
to
us.
UJTV.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bongani. And thank you to the whole team.
No, thank you.
It's
Thank
been
you.
actually fun, big. Yeah, I don't want to leave.
I think I can't end this without saying thank you to UJ.
Yeah.
I don't think if I was at UJ, I would have this idea of starting classroom buddies.
Yeah.
So being at UJ has given me so much.
Indeed.
As a student, as an individual, as a staff member. So thank you to UJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
University
Yeah,
of
the
Johannesburg.
great,
Yeah,
as
the
the
great.
VC says. Yeah.
As always.
Yeah.
Man. Nah, thank you so much, guys. Again, I'm thanking you for coming through, but of course, it is always thank you to the Great University of Johannesburg. Yeah. Awesome. Well, there you have it, dear viewers. It's been an informative and insightful episode, as promised. The guys did come through. Who wouldn't want to be part of Classroom Buddies? They're well articulated, the message is clear, but also their intentions are very pure. Whitest know which are to provide societal impact, to assist the people that are in our societies, so that education is key, aligning with all levels, from global to institutional levels. These are very important. As we say, education is key, and they are here to try and facilitate that, to ensure that everyone gets quality education. My name is Bongani Mncube. Thank you for joining me on this episode. I'll see you in the next one.